that's when I'm dating you.
So I haven't heard back from me yet, but you remember that woman that...
We're live, by the way.
Oh, we are?
Yep.
I won't say it
But
then.
no, what?
Oh, I might have got you a free lunch.
I like it a free lunch.
I know you like... You and Xavier.
We like it a free lunch.
Yes. I don't know yet.
So you know, we'll be live straight.
So you're saying if I look at this camera and go, we're live? We're live.
Yes.
Because I'm back.
I'm back.
I'm back, baby.
I'm
back.
I'm back. Did it. I'm back. Did it. I'm back. Did. Get up off of that thing and dance till you feel better. Get up off of that thing. I gotta make sure we're streaming properly. Start watching. Get up off of that
Who's
thing.
not watching? Who's not watching?
No, I'm starting the watch. Oh, we're streaming properly. Oh shit. Start watching. I was gonna say, imagine if we were absolute front page. Imagine, but we're not again. Oh, for God's sake. So when does ESL Australia bloody finish up?
Who's ESL Australia? Who are they?
I don't know. Who are these people? Anyone up in this chat room or what? I have bloody listened to every podcast and I finally caught you guys on Twitch. Yeah, buddy!
Yeah, boy!
Yeah, boy! Oh, Beastia AU subscribed. Get up, ya. Wow. Do you want me to bring this curtain down a bit?
Yeah. That'd be good. Thank you. Thank you so much, kind sir. That's much better.
You're quite welcome, kind
Could you
sir.
also get rid of this error on the screen? It's giving me
Twat?
anxiety.
Twat?
On your ringing phone line thing, there's an error.
Twat?
An unhandled exception has occurred in your application.
An unhandled exception has occurred in your... What?
Yeah.
Why is that bothering you?
Can I get rid of that or not? I've got a mouse.
Nah, you can't get rid of it.
Ah.
Just turn the monitor off.
That's a good idea.
If you can't deal.
I can. That's much better. Thank you, sir.
Oh, God.
It was
Menthonzo
distracting.
Capnavari. Boom! Blue streak. Oh, it's up. Oh, God, love you. God, love you, darling.
What is this stuff?
Love
Love Island spray.
Yes. Twat?
Oh, God. That smells like Love Island.
I'm just creating a shiny new conversation because we have, straight off the bat tonight, we've got an interview. So we're gonna call them.
We're gonna call them.
That always kind of sounds like the Super Mario. What?
Why don't phone lines sound like that? That's awesome.
That is awesome, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, there he is. What a handsome devil.
Here I am.
Hey.
How come I can only see me and not you guys though?
Because we can't
look at
patch
my
the
kid's
camera.
cell phone night.
We can't patch our camera through to you because it's currently being taken up by OBS.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry, mate.
Right.
That old
Yeah,
chestnut.
That old chestnut, mate.
yeah.
I can send you a pic. I'll send you a picture of us. I'll send you a happy snap. Hang on.
Do it.
Dan, I'm gonna do it. I'm bloody doing it. Hang on.
Do it.
Hey,
Do it.
Dan, smile. Hey, Chris, smile because you'll be in the shot as well.
Hey, I'm always smiling.
He's
Pete,
always
you know me.
smiling.
I know you. There we go. It's off.
If you don't smile, you got to cry. Isn't that what they say?
Let's bloody get stuck into this. Now,
Let's do it.
we are live on Twitch right now, and we are being joined by a couple of absolute dead set legends by Order Esports, Chris Derrick, the CEO, and Head of Operations, Nathan Brifford. Now, before we do launch in, guys, and get stuck into what we're talking about ahead of PAX this week, we do have to do our introductions and everything, give you the full Game on Australia experience, okay? How does that sound? Is that all right?
I'm game.
You are welcome.
All right. Here it comes. You ready, Dad?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
Rated M for mature.
Attack commences in 60 seconds.
Welcome to episode 146.
Bloody 6. Pick up some bloody sticks, Pete.
Mate, also, you've got to come up with a better one than that. I swear to God. But you know
Here's
what?
the fix, Pete.
No, that's it. We'll just keep on working that. Hey, as we get stuck into this on. Geez, it's not Tuesday, it's Wednesday.
Wednesday, mate.
It's Wednesday the 9th of October, so
Yes,
that
it is.
thing's ballsed up.
Yeah.
That's all good. Out of sunny Perth, you know what? Beautiful day for gaming.
What day isn't?
Yeah, tell
what
me.
Day
exactly.
Isn't,
Top of 24, currently 21 degrees, although by the time you hear this, it will be Friday, and it is PAX weekend!
Yes!
If you do not mind, we've got a couple of legendary guests on the podcast this afternoon. Chris Derrick and Nathan Briffa from Order Esports. They will be on a panel at PAX. We'll get stuck into that, as well as a whole host of PS5 details that are broken.
Look
and
how
for
happy
a
you are.
change,
Look how happy you
they're
are.
actually genuine, would you believe? Far out. Let's get stuck in. Let's do it!
Game on, it's gaming time. Excellent, game on, it's gaming time. Excellent.
Boom! Dan.
Holy shit, that's a good intro.
Dan.
Yes.
Dan.
Yes, Peter.
Mate.
Peter.
Oh, my name's Pete.
My name's Dan.
For the next hour, we're going to bang on about games. You know why, Dan? You know why?
It's because
Yeah, think about it.
we bloody love gaming.
Yeah.
It's because we bloody love gaming.
You know what else we love?
bloody gaming!
Mate, you wouldn't read about it. I tell you what, far out. Let's get stuck into this because these guys have been very kind enough to give us our time. We mentioned at the top of the podcast, Chris Derrick and Nathan Briffa. Chris, we'll start with you. Thank you so much for your time this evening.
Thanks for having me, guys.
So, first thing that we like to do is, because obviously our audience, more often than not, would love to get to know you guys. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Chris, and how you came to be the CEO of Order Esports.
Chris Derrick, CEO of Order Esports, as you say. I've been in the seat now coming up on 1 year. Prior to that, I was at the AFL helping them with esports for a brief stint. And prior to that, at Southern Cross Oz Stereo as head of digital strategy and operations. Spent about 2 years looking at esports for them and trying to see if there was a way into it for Southern Cross Oz Stereo. Gave me a kind of good commercial overview of the industry and love my games. I've only been more and more drawn into it since then, and here I am, loving it.
What sucked you in through that period to the point where you kind of went, you know what, I'm all in. I want to work in this industry full time. There's so much here.
The people within the industry is the short answer to that, and the people are so passionate about not just esports itself, but gaming in general, about the industry and how it grows. And it's a legitimate, credible industry now. It's only going to get bigger and bigger. Video games is the biggest form of entertainment in the world, and esports is the fastest growing form of sport. So as somebody who loves their games, it makes sense to want to be involved in it.
Yep. Nathan Briffa, head of operations for Order Esports and CSGO team manager as well. Gameplay and player side. What about you, mate? Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you ended up where you are today.
Yeah, I come to the scene from a totally different angle to Chris, in that I was just glued to my computer playing Counter-Strike and watching it competitively for a very long time. It might have been 2013. I started doing some work for Team Immunity. You guys are probably very familiar with the name, pretty storied and definitely aged in esports here. Started doing some work for them, working with their CS team with one of my good friends, Chris Rowlands, Imagine, and progressed my way through from a budding journalist, my aspiration at the time, through to team management, which went on to be with Kings, Winterfox before they went there, back to Immunity, and then Order.
Gee whiz, Immunity. So, we're talking history here. You've seen a lot of change over the course of your time then.
I have definitely seen a lot of change to where we are today, yeah, no doubt.
So, look, we'll get stuck into a little bit more about Order Esports and how well you guys are going and absolutely flying, and even just talking about the path to pro and becoming a professional player and what that sort of life is like. But you guys are going to be at this coming Friday. So by the time people hear this on the podcast platforms, it'll be live. You'll be there. 11 a.m. at the EB Live Theatre, that is Eastern, for an incredible panel discussing the topic from player to pro, how the evolution of PC hardware enables people to make their passion a profession. A panel. Is it exciting? It sounds really exciting to me to stand up in front of a whole group of esports and video games enthusiasts that you'll find at PAX and to be able to discuss something that's so close to home.
Look, I'd certainly much rather be on a panel than having to be giving a presentation about it. That's for sure. Yeah. It's a great opportunity. We're up there supporting Alienware, great partners of ours. So, really happy to be up there and talking about how hardware helps make better players. Nathan is much more of an expert on that than me, as he's just informed you. But really happy to be there.
So it's honestly a little bit surreal on my end, coming from being a consumer of these products and watching what they actually did to the professionalization of the space, to being on a panel talking about it. It really is surreal.
So, Nathan, let's get stuck into that in particular. And, feel free, obviously, to hold a little bit back because you guys have got this panel coming up. So you want to unload there. But the evolution of PC hardware and how it does enable people to make their passion a profession. We're not just talking about professionally in stadiums and around the world, but even the sort of equipment that you can get in your own home to start yourself off on that path to professionalism. We've come a long way.
We have definitely come a long way. I think the thing that really contrasts it for me is I used to frequent LAN cafes and internet cafes a lot as I was a kid, and I didn't have the money to have my own PC that would be capable of playing the games I wanted to play, let alone good enough internet to be able to do it with friends. So you'd go to LAN cafes, and that's where I started in CS and every other game that grew to be more of a passion than it may have been worth at the time. But that's how it was. If you wanted to do it, you did have to go to an internet cafe. And that's very different to now, where we can sit here and even do a podcast like this on the machines we have. And the change in that hardware and what you can get into your home today has created a professional industry that at the time, no one, you would have been one of the crazy people if you were talking about it. Hey, in 10 years, we'll all be able to stream our games and make a living off it, not have to work a 9 till 5.
What? You're crazy.
That's right. But here we are doing it. So it is. We've definitely come a long way.
In terms of, this is a little bit chicken and the egg, but I'm really interested in this. You mentioned home internet technology and, we're going down that path. Do you think internet has driven the emergence and evolution of PC technology into homes instead of PC technology needing to get better or being better, and therefore internet had to catch up? Which way do you see it?
You're right. That is definitely very chicken and egg. I would say to some degree it was the hardware, because if you really are going to try and put one first, I would say it was the hardware, and that's purely because you need something. It's all well and good to have the tier 1 internet and the access to connective speeds that we do now, but you need to fill those lines with something. And the hardware had to be demanding that something was able to take all this bandwidth and turn it into something else. So I think it probably was hardware, but that is a hard one to answer.
There's a cheeky third option there, which is the software, which is the games themselves. Which obviously they run on the hardware, but gaming has evolved from being something that you played on the computer against the computer to something that's played online. Gaming is online these days, and esports is obviously the competitive form of that. But I think with the way that's evolved, it's definitely who plays a game that's not online these days, I guess, is what I'm trying to badly say.
It's really struck me lately that exactly that. It's become very social gaming. Not just obviously with competitive esports, but also just, I don't really game much anymore on my own. I'm gaming with mates online. And that's because we've come to that point now where we can. And it's a good argument to fight back at people who give you shit about gaming so much. And, you say, well, I could be sitting there watching TV on my own on the couch or gaming with some mates online, talking shit and having fun, it's actually become a lot more social. And I think that's a fantastic thing, personally.
I agree. You're 100% right. And I think one of the coolest things that we're actually seeing evolve right now is the ability for, this hardware and this connectivity we're talking about has brought us to the point where consoles and crossplay between platforms has become massive, and that's including mobile. So there really is, it is massively social now. Most people, I would say, it's definitely like that for myself. Playing games with friends at all times or not really doing it. And the fact that you can do it on every device now it's a whole new level that we have access to.
Yep.
Chris, the discussion around mobile and esports and stuff like that is one that is continuing to merge as we start to see companies who have a major stake in mobile games like Tencent, for example, grow and become bigger, and that becomes more of a platform for people to play on and stuff like that. Is that something that, Order and esports teams in general are looking deeper into to make sure that they are on the path to catch it when it eventually hits in Australia?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think, we see mobile esports being a lot bigger overseas, but it's something that we're constantly reviewing, what games we're in, what titles we're in. There's a lot of different factors that go into that in terms of the audiences of them, the competition structures, the support from the publishers, the prize money opportunities, sponsors, preferences, all of those different things. There's no reason why whether something's on a PC, on console, or on mobile is a excluding factor in terms of which title you select.
We're still a ways away from, I guess, here in Australia, hitting the marks and the hallmarks and benchmarks, I guess, of North America, Europe, so on and so forth. But we are certainly making inroads there. How far away do you think we are from hitting the same levels of uptake here in Australia as North America? Now, obviously, they have much larger populations than we do, so that takes a bit of a chunk into it. But if you were to talk ratios, for example, are we close?
Yeah, I think we're close. I mean, if you look at some of the major tournaments and events that we have throughout the year, IEM in Sydney, 15,000 odd people there. MEO in Melbourne had 17,000 people. We've got big leagues across multiple titles. There's a massive amount of endemic fan base support, and it's just about growing that out and extending it to both commercial parties and getting non-endemic sponsors involved, but also broader audiences as well. I think it's only a matter of time before that happens.
Yep.
Oh, it's very exciting.
It's exciting.
It really is very exciting. Oh, God, just watching it over the last few years, just grow and just see those people are starting to get really excited. When I have a catch up with the family like we did last night, and we just had some friends come around and stuff like that, and we're sitting around a table, and one of them who barely ever touches a computer, right? If you were to put him in the front of the PC that I've got, and it's, my PC's not a potato, it's a half a decent rig, but it's nothing that, what you guys at Order are playing on. But for him to sit there and go, man, I'm starting to see this thing about esports, my kids are talking about it.
Yeah.
Bloody exciting.
Yeah, it
isn't
is.
it?
It really is.
Absolutely. I think, I'm probably a bit longer in the tooth than you guys, and as,
debatable.
Nathan said before. As Nathan said before, you go and tell somebody you got a full-time job in esports in video gaming, it kind of blows people's mind. But once you get them in playing a game, then whether it's a first-person shooter or a MOBA or real-time strategy fighting game, whatever, everybody has got a game that they like to play, and
Yeah.
there's a format for you, and there's an esport around it. So yeah, it's definitely exciting.
Nathan, that's probably a conversation that you've had to have many times over the course of your career, and we are discussing things about, the path to pro, and PC hardware has enabled that, and that is the case, but, there's other barriers that you've had to overcome, and I guess one of those may in particular be that conversation of you can't earn a living from playing video games. How often have you had that conversation over the course of your career?
I wish I had $1 for every time I had it.
That'd be an earner in itself, yes.
Yeah, a lot. It's a strange conversation to have when you do have it, but to be honest, it's one that I like having because you're really educating people that, if they don't know that you can make a living, then they've got a ton of questions about why and how and what's going on. So it's definitely one that I enjoy answering. And it's funny. We're obviously on PAX Eve, and when people are listening to this, we'll be there live this year. And we were having a conversation today about PAX Australia when it first came here in 2013, and it was at the showgrounds, and it was pouring down rain as you were lining up to get food, and it was the coolest thing ever to finally have a PAX Australia. And to have those games and that kind of consumer experience coming here. So, being at that as a consumer, being here now in 2019, going into another PAX, and having conversations like this, it's enjoyable to be able to tell people what this path was, and that, you can actually make $1 in it. And if you go and look at what the gaming market looks like globally and worldwide, that it's actually much bigger than most people realize.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys are, and part of the reason why is because the great team at Alienware reached out to us and said there is an opportunity for you guys to talk to Order ahead of PAX coming up this weekend. You are aligned with Alienware. You must see some of the best tech on the market having this alignment, because it must go so far in terms of making sure that you guys are at the top of your game. Is there anything that you guys have seen that you can talk to us about that we're yet to see in a sort of public arena yet?
Nathan might want to talk about a certain monitor that they've got on display at PAX this week.
Yeah, you guys may have seen it. It was on show at, I believe they first showed it at Gamescom with a lot of their new ID stuff. But Alienware have got a 55-inch OLED panel there, 120 hertz OLED panel, 4K, an absolute specimen as far as monitors go, and the front runner in regards to that tech. And you need only look at their current monitor lineup and the 240 hertz rate that they're pushing on their premium monitors to know that Alienware are really doing something special in it, in my opinion, one of the most underdeveloped areas in, peripherals at this point, which is really good high quality monitors that you don't have to go through panel lotteries for, or, you have this amazing 240 hertz refresh rate on a high quality panel. And it's, it removes as many barriers as possible between you and playing as well as you possibly can.
Oh, that's awesome. God, that gets me. I'm excited.
Are you excited?
I'm excited.
I'm a little excited.
That just fires me up.
I could have a few of these around here, eh? Far out, I could. Chicken! Now, guys.
We have to ask the question.
All right, go on.
You ask it.
All right,
It's your question.
I know it's my question. No, I got a couple of other questions before I head that one. Just trust.
There's a chicken question coming.
You guys are going to absolutely love the chicken question. It'll be your favourite question you've ever been asked. I'll tell you now. It's amazing.
Big call, but we'll go with it.
We will absolutely run with it. Just a real quick one, and hit us with it. Nathan in particular, because you get to see this stuff firsthand, and obviously as a CSGO team manager, you guys are using this gear. What are you guys playing on at the moment?
We are playing on an Alienware Aurora desktop, the R9, absolutely flat spec, their latest 240 hertz monitors. If you've seen the machines, definitely, you definitely know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, come down and see them on Friday or across the weekend, whenever you're there, because it is, it's the top line experience. It's what lets us prepare to play at every event that we play at and play in the best way possible.
Yep. Chris, what are you playing on? Is it a Mac? It's a Mac, isn't it?
Oh, it's embarrassing. How did you know?
Oh, God, it is.
I play on my phone.
Yep.
I play on my PlayStation. PC, mobile, console. We talked about it all.
Oh,
Yes.
sensational.
Tick, tick, tick.
Now, guys, before we do let you go, because we understand it is a little bit later over in the eastern states than it is over here. And again, thank you so much for your time tonight. We really appreciate it. And there's going to be so much more for people to get stuck into when the panel rocks around. But before we do leave you, the famous Game on Australia question, what's your favourite part of the chicken? Chris, we'll start with you.
I'm a leg man for sure.
Oh.
Definitely leg.
Leg man.
Yeah,
You got to get
Ripper.
those skinless chicken thighs.
Oh,
You
hello.
fry those up. Delicious.
Oh, God, that sounds sensational. Nathan?
I mean, that does sound good, but nah, it's breast for me,
Breast,
mate. It's
yes.
breast. Yep.
I'm a breast man.
It's
You're a breast man, aren't you?
I'm a breast man.
Give a special shout out to the KFC Zinger fillet.
Oh,
God.
now we're talking. I
You
mean,
went there.
hello, Vicar.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. now I'm hungry.
It is without a doubt one of my favorite. You know why I like the breast? Because there's a lot of chicken there, but when you do go to KFC, God, it's wrapped in that hot and spicy gear and far out.
Well,
there's
anything
plenty of it.
KFC, legs or breasts.
Yeah,
in
that'll
KFC,
do.
mate.
Yeah.
Boom, I'm in. As we know.
Yeah, you
Bloody
can't
wonderful.
argue there,
You
can
cannot argue.
Oh, gee whiz. Hey, I know we've only scratched the surface with you guys, but there is plenty more depth to be seen. 11 o'clock at the EB Live Theatre for this PAX panel in particular. Some incredible names there. So Chris Sutphin, the Global Marketing Director, Premium Desktop Planning and Community Engagement from Dell will be there. Michelle Mannering, Hackathon Queen, Community Lead, GitHub and esports commentator. We know Michelle. She's an absolute ripper. And, of course, you guys as well, Chris Derrick and Nathan Briffer. We really appreciate your time. All the best with the continued successful Order Esports, and we will catch up with you guys again soon. Enjoy PAX.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us.
Bloody legends.
Thanks for your time, guys. Speak to you later.
See you, boys.
Yeah.
Now, for anyone listening and watching, and I know Skittles is watching, I really regret now, back in about July, sending an email going, I don't think I can go to PAX, guys. I can't afford it.
Yeah, I know.
I'm really regretting it.
Are you getting FOMO?
I'm getting massive FOMO.
Are you getting FOMO?
Yeah.
I'm getting such FOMO.
I still can't afford it. Like, nothing's changed in that department. But
Oh, God.
maybe next year, Pete. Maybe 2020 is the year of the PAX for you and me.
I think next year is the year of PAX. The thing that upsets me about not going this year is that, there was been so many people reaching out and saying, "Can you come and do something with us at PAX?" So, we had Samsung say hello. Alien Wes said hello. Obviously.
Yeah.
We got invited to do a panel.
Oh,
There
what?
was so much exciting things.
I'd love to do a panel.
I would love to do a panel as well.
You'd be good on a panel, actually.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you.
You'd be good on a panel.
Oh, yeah.
No, you would.
I'd be this like I am a bit here. Sort of special comments, half-assed, bloody.
No, you back yourself in, mate, because I'm backing you. I'm backing you in.
Hey, thanks, mate.
I'm backing you in.
No, it'd be good. Well, maybe next year. Next year's the year.
Yeah.
We'll do a Game on Australia consortium
Okay.
that heads to PAX and takes it over. Let's take over PAX next year.
Well, Gamma's said would love to see PAX in WA, but that's just wishful thinking. Or is it, Gamma?
what are you saying?
Or
Do you
is
know
it?
something?
Do
You bloody know something.
Do I know?
What do you know?
Do I know something?
Well, no, you don't. But do you or not?
Or do I?
Oh, don't play this game with me.
No. Or do I, mate?
Well-
Let me just tell you guys watching right now that 2020
Yeah.
is the year of Perth.
Oh,
There's some exciting stuff cooking
Oh, are
away
you
here
kidding?
in WA.
fuck, now you've got me even more excited. Oh my god. Hey, they were great. I'd love to get them on again. Actually, they it's nice to speak to people who are in there at the grindstone doing their shit, and I really enjoyed that
At the
chat.
coalface.
At the coalface.
Absolutely. And you know what? They are absolute rippers and they are doing wonderful things. Order Esports is absolutely killing it at the moment. They're fantastic. So good on them. And again, we thank them very much for their time.
I like what Nathan said. I had this situation in my life for years where, because as you know, Pete, I play a lot of golf. And for years when I had a job that I hated that question that always comes up when you play with someone new. Oh, so what do you do? Oh, I work for a building company. Oh, yeah, okay. And I quite like that question now because I get what do you do? I work for a radio station. Oh, really? And they want to know what they actually want to know what you do. So I imagine Nathan every time you meet someone new, it's probably in the back of his head. They're going to ask me, "What do you do for a living?" Oh, I work for an esports company. Really? Yeah, that's right.
What is esports?
But you probably have some kind of YouTube video set up, wouldn't you? Just go, well, because you explain the story that many times.
Yeah, and you just go, here, look at this.
Watch this, play. Yeah, you know.
Now, excuse me. A big thanks to the people watching so far. We're up at around 30 people watching. This is wonderful. Great to see you tonight. We've had a few sort of updates. Aussie Q has cheered us. Thank you very much to Aussie Q.
Thanks, Aussie Q.
For that cheer.
Wow.
And wow. 69 bits. Now, you know that's not an accident.
69 what?
He cheered us 69 bits.
That's not an accident at all.
That is not an
That's
accident.
completely
You
on
bloody
purpose. Well done, son.
Arion Streams, hello.
Thank you
well
very
done.
much.
Beastie, as we mentioned, gave us a cheeky little sub. 6 months. At
6
tier 1
months?
with a good afternoon, you sexy
Oh,
bloody
thank you
legends.
very
Thank you
much.
very much. PCal90 is following us now, and so is Quad Kings with
Awesome.
1. So thank you, guys. It's great to have you along. Now, we've got to get into a couple of other things that obviously we do on the podcast, including the top 3 things that games need to hear this week. Straight off the bat, Dan. Straight off the bat.
Is it a forward defensive or
Right.
is it a big shot?
I don't know. I only just learned what square mid off was last night.
Did ya?
Yeah. So weird story, right?
That's quite funny.
No,
You
it's
call
fun.
yourself Australian?
Australian. No, I don't actually. You just call myself Italian.
Hey, Italian.
I'm Italian. What do you know?
Yeah.
Hey, you bloody banana. So, weird old thing last night. Mum and Dad were flicking through. They got this calendar from a local Italian providore
Yes.
here in WA.
Very good.
An Italian providore.
Yes.
And you go through it, and it's got pictures of Italy and bloody, stuff like that. And
Yeah.
like, this is Italian as Italian can be.
Yep,
and on the
yep.
back, it's got other things, like the metric system in Italian. And then for some reason, behind October is a picture of a cricket ground with all of the different names of the fields for the positions.
On the actual ground.
Yeah. So just out of nowhere. I mean, everything else
Italian.
is Italian gear. And then this thing's just sitting on the back like bloody... So some nuffy that's put this thing together has gone, oh, you know what's missing here? Italian. Cricket.
Cricket, yeah.
Cricketo.
That's classic.
So I'm going to get us stuck into some stuff that's happened here
Yeah.
today.
So we've got top 3 things gamers need to know.
Yeah,
What's
so
number 1?
number 1 and 2 and 3.
Oh. Is it all PS5
It's all PS5 gear.
related?
Yeah, it's all PS5.
Because it's been a big week,
yeah.
and you've been extremely happy this week because it hasn't been a lot of love from PlayStation
PlayStation
for
for a long time.
a long time, has there? It's been a lot of Xbox work, which has made me happy because I'm the Xbox man.
Yep.
You're the PS man. And lead us away, Pete. What's number 1, 2, or 3?
Okay, so quite a fair amount of information has been confirmed, right? So I'm just going to go over to Wired because that's where we're taking a deeper look at the PlayStation 5, right? So PlayStation 5, the first thing that has been really bloody exciting about this whole thing is that we actually have a release date.
Yes.
So holidays 2020. Now, these are web stories from the US.
Yeah.
So holidays for them 2020.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah.
So at the end of next year, guys, lock it in. We will have a PlayStation 5. That is going to
Far out,
happen.
man. That's massive.
Absolutely
When was the PS4?
massive. The PS4 was 2013 from memory.
So 6 years. 7,
I remember
7 years
that
away, yeah.
because that's when I did the upgrade because it was the last year that I was in Brisbane
Yeah.
before we moved back home to Perth.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like the Xbox One was about the same. Maybe a little bit, maybe 2012.
the Xbox One was about the same.
Yeah, they were around the same time.
You know what we should do? We should call Champ Chong.
We should.
Hang on.
Why are we calling Chat? Because he knows.
Because he knows.
Unlike us.
You know how I love a good bloody...
But I love, an impromptu telephone call to someone.
You know I love a good impromptu telephone
he's a
call
legend
to someone.
too, mate.
He is one of the greats. He's
Champ
probably
Chong.
going to be... He has no idea we're calling him, so he's probably going to be pissed as...
What, as in upset
No,
or drunk?
drunk. Nah, he's probably playing NBA 2K20. to be honest
Actually,
with you.
yeah, he's
Wouldn't
probably on the
surprise me.
basketball court. Actually,
Yeah,
loves
he
his
bloody
b-ball.
loves it, doesn't he? 30. Oh, geez, I was about to say the number out
Oh,
loud.
that would have been
Whoa.
awkward.
God.
So,
I'm calling him.
all right. God, the anticipation's killing me. Will he answer? That's 3 rings.
I reckon he won't answer.
That's 4 rings. That's 5 rings. 6 rings. 7 rings.
He doesn't get the $50,000. I'll call him from my mobile.
Are you calling that your mobile?
$50,000?
He's gone far out, Pete. I've already ignored the call once.
Champ Chong? Was that you just then with the... Yeah, it was. Hey. Fair enough. Hey, dude, just a quick one, right? Because we're live.
Pete's live on the podcast right now. Talking away.
We're live
Sorry.
on Twitch right now. Okay. Yeah, we are. Can you take our phone call? Because you know what's going on with the PS5, right? Like, just... Yeah, do you want to have a quick yarn about it? Yeah, no, that's fine. 5 minutes is plenty. Okay, all right, we'll call you back through the deck. Hang on a sec.
This is the professional outfit known as Game On Australia.
God, this is great. We fly by the seat of our pants on this show.
Hello.
Hello there, Champ Chomp.
Oh, you should have totally gone, hello, sir. Would you like to talk about air conditioning?
Oh, God, this is the best thing ever.
G'day, champ.
Hey, Champ, how are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
good, man.
Now, look, sorry to call you out of the blue and to put you live on Twitch out of the blue also as well. We've
All
probably,
good.
but we know that if there's anybody who can tell us about the PS5, it is you because you are second to none when it comes to knowing about PlayStation. So we'll call this the PS5 Minutes.
Good
Oh,
one.
yeah, that's a good one. Good
bloody
dad
good.
joke.
Good dad
Yeah,
joke.
good dad joke.
Because I know you've only got 5 minutes because you're in the middle of your next video, which will be coming out with like next couple of days.
Yeah, probably tomorrow. I don't have time to get it out tonight because the daylight savings ruins everything.
Yes, it does.
Bloody daylight savings,
Bloody
mate.
daylight saving.
No, I wish we had it so that we
Yes.
could match up with them.
Agreed.
You know, actually, I learned something about that. You know why we can't have daylight savings?
Why?
Because it fades the curtains.
No,
apparently.
not because of phase the kids. I heard that crap too. Apparently, it's because the cows can't deal with it.
Yeah. They don't understand. The clock change completely ruins their day.
Yeah. No, dead set serious.
No,
like, so somebody.
no.
Yeah, no, I'm not
Peter.
joking.
Peter, come
You
on.
Because
guys.
they don't have the concept of time.
No, you guys Google this. I'm serious. It's because the dairy farmers were complaining because the milk was going sour because cows get into a rhythm and because the dairy farmers were getting up an hour earlier through 06 to 09 and milking them an hour earlier, they cooked it.
So that doesn't happen on the East Coast?
What?
Yeah, it doesn't happen in
They-
the
they-
entire world, Europe, America.
They have cows on the East Coast.
Australia. Yeah.
That's probably the argument that I should have pitched when we were discussing that on the breakfast show this morning. Fair enough.
Well, that's 1 minute gone.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we've got
4 minutes left. Yeah.
No, let's go. 5 minutes from now. Let's go.
Okay, 5 minutes from now.
What do you guys want to know?
We want to know exactly what it is that's been confirmed. So the one thing that we do absolutely know is that we are slated for a release for the PS5, Holidays 2020 US version. So that'll be Christmas next year. Is there anything else that we haven't heard yet?
Okay, so one thing they sort of touched on last night was that it will have a brand new controller for the next gen. So they've kind of done that already every single generation. So the PS4 has that whole little like touchpad on the top, and they redid the triggers and everything. And it is a bit of a better controller overall, but now they're actually going to be doing a whole lot more with the controller. It's going to have like new triggers, so now you'll actually have a different feeling for when, let's say you're in a car, like a racing game, you're going to actually be able to feel that acceleration different to when you're drawing a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
It's going to be different.
Wow.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. And then on top of that, the rumble's been replaced. I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head. I'm like looking for my notes from yesterday because I did a video on this last night, in like last minute. But
Yeah, because it only really came out in the last 24 hours, didn't it?
Yeah,
Or
it came
last
out like
night or something?
around like 8:30, 8 o'clock last night, and like I had my video out by like an hour later. It was the
Oh.
quickest I ever made a video because I was
Epic.
just like, bam.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at my notes. So what they said was, so they're called adaptive triggers now. So the L2 and the R2 now, it's all up to the developers. Like PlayStation have given you the hardware, the capabilities to do it, but now it's going to be up to developers to give you that tactile sensation.
Yep.
So it's going to be different. And then on top of that, they give you haptic feedback. It's replacing the regular rumble. So I think Xbox have kind of done that with that Elite controller a couple of years ago.
Yep.
And yes, they're trying to put that all into the base controller for the PlayStation 5. And I'm pretty sure Xbox is going to end up doing the same thing, which I'm hoping doesn't raise the price of the consoles, because the rumor going around is PlayStation haven't said this yet, but it's coming from the same guy that leaked, like way before it even was official, the Nintendo Switch Lite. So this is like months and months ago. It's the same source. He's saying that there will be 2 PlayStation consoles at launch, which is, I don't know if I believe it necessarily. PlayStation could still go away from that whole plan, but we would get a PlayStation 5 and a PlayStation 5 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
So initially, the way it's looking is, it kind of sucks. The fact that the PlayStation 5 Pro would be the original PlayStation 5 that was meant to launch, but they're dumbing down the PlayStation 5 regular one that's going to come out because of the price of the console. So maybe the controller that they're talking about might come with the Pro version of the console. I'm not 100% sure. Like, this is all speculation, but from what we heard last night is that it will be out holiday 2020. It's going to be the new controller is going to be launching with it. We still don't know what it looks like. It's probably going to look pretty much the same. I'm hoping it is a bit bigger because I've got humongous hands, and like the PlayStation controller hasn't really changed too much like in size over the years. So I don't know if they're going to go away from that.
Yeah.
But they also confirmed, if you guys remember a couple of months ago, maybe it was like 6-7 weeks ago, that dev kit that leaked, that ugly console.
Yeah, the one that's got, so it's shaped like
It's like a V.
A V.
Which is a 5 in Roman numerals.
Oh,
yes,
correct.
So, you know, there was obviously...
They confirmed it to be real.
Yes.
Oh,
so
right.
Now, have
So
they
last
confirmed
night,
it to be
yeah.
absolutely 100% accurate to what we've seen?
No, yeah. So all the like stuff we've seen is 100% real. It is a development kit though, so things could change. And I talked about this a few weeks ago, and even just a few days ago in a video, I was touching on this. Is the reason for that design? If you go back to AMD and PlayStation had like a press conference earlier this year, and they talked about how the PlayStation 5 will have a unique design because of the way the system has to perform, and I guess airflow and certain other things. So with that would come a strange design, and lo and behold, we saw that, and people thought, oh, no, it's probably fake, or if it is anything, it's just development kit. But I think we will see something along those lines, maybe not that crazy looking, because there was quite a lot of backlash, and I don't think PlayStation liked that. So, like, it was universally, I could say, like 90% of people didn't like that design. It is different, but, yeah, so what we found out last night on top of the release period, release schedule of Holiday 2020 and the new controller is that there will be that strange design potentially, because that console, that dev kit is real. And also on top of that, it will be launching with an SSD rather than a regular hard drive, so that's going to improve performance and load times for games. Especially,
that's cool. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's going to be really, really cool. So now you won't have to wait for ages for games to boot up and everything like that. It's going to be within maybe 2-3 seconds. Maybe even less.
Oh, that was it. You've just talking about the games. You just reminded me of something else. Being able to download particular parts of games as well. So, essentially, like all the games will be like a patchwork of downloads. So if you don't want to download the multiplayer,
you don't have to.
You don't have to.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Like the closest I've seen that with that in this generation recently was Crackdown, the latest Crackdown game.
Yeah. Yep.
That actually came with single player and a multiplayer part of the game, and that was cool. So I think that might be a way forward. But I feel like next gen we're going to see a lot more games, and it's already starting where they either go all in single player and don't even bother attaching some sort of, especially PlayStation exclusive type games, and don't bother attaching multiplayer, or they go all out multiplayer, maybe even free to play.
Yep.
And even just a couple of days ago, PlayStation finally revealed that it's coming out of beta, the what do you call it, the crossplay thing. So they're going completely ahead with that. So that's going to be a huge thing next gen. And I'm actually predicting the first games we'll see that are major games are going to be like the next FIFA and the next NBA game, because that depends on contracts and what exclusivity deals they have. But even if you look at NBA, which I play a lot, you go into the store, into the Foot Locker store, for example, and you buy a pair of shoes, there's a PlayStation branded shoe in that store because it's a real shoe in real life. So I think both Xbox and Sony are just kind of over that whole thing. It's like the rivalry is really not there anymore.
Yeah.
Sure, it comes down to dollars, but that whole fanboy thing is dead.
It's done. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Now these days it's all about, can we all just play together, please?
Yeah,
That'd be wicked. It would be so cool because I love my PlayStation and I wouldn't switch to an Xbox. You love your Xbox, wouldn't switch to a PlayStation.
Yeah.
But it would be still wicked to be able to play online games.
To game on together, yeah.
To game on together, Dan. Yeah, what a bloody legend. That was a beautiful thing to say.
Yes, well, it's true.
Yeah. What was the other thing that popped into my head
Quick,
as
you got
well?
1 minute.
Blue Point. Is it Blue Point or is it Blue? Not Blue Mouth Interactive. Might be Blue Point. Who's the
Blue
one?
Point Games.
Blue Point Games. Now, is there any truth to the rumor that they will have a major remake on their hands for the release of the PS5?
I'm not 100% sure on that, but they did state, the president did state that they are working on a big game right now. So they never said anything specific.
Interesting.
Okay.
But that's Shadow of Colossus, right?
Yeah, Shadow of Colossus. They did the remake on that, which is just absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. Mate, we'll leave you to it because we know you're a busy bloke. But thank you so much for giving us your time, albeit I kind of forced you into it. But please take the opportunity, plug the hell out of your stuff. Go for it. The floor is yours.
Oh, thank you. Just Champ Chong on YouTube, on Champ Chong on pretty much everything. So Twitter, Instagram, follow me on there. I post the most stupid Instagram stories. I like posting random stuff all day, so I've got no life. Yeah.
Are you Champ Chong on the basketball court?
hit me up
Because
on there.
we're having a 3-point comp, you and me, remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I'm
Wait. I saw you doing some Fitbit challenge. Add me on Fitbit. I need motivation to
Add you on
find and walk.
Fitbit? What do you mean
Yeah.
add you on Fitbit?
You can add people on the app, so you can challenge each other. So you got leaderboards, because I treat everything like a game.
Okay,
like
like a
cricket, high
competition,
score.
yeah. Game on!
Hey.
Okay, so here's this Fitbit challenge at the moment I'm doing. I can't add you until next week.
Okay.
Because we're not actually allowed anywhere near the apps to connect to these Fitbits because they're being watched at the moment. Which makes it terrible when you want some private time. But anyway, so I will add you on Monday.
Let's see if you actually make it to Monday.
Probably not. At some point, I'm hoping that this thing falls off my wrist and I never see it again.
Yeah, that's right.
God, I'm fit. Champ Chong, you're a legend, but you know that, and we all bloody know that.
No, I'm just a dude.
Shut up, mate. You're a legend. Thank you so much, and all the best to you. We'll catch up with you very soon.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
See you, bro.
Good chatting to you.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
God, it's just bloody
He's a legend, mate.
It's just bloody sensational.
Can't 3-point shoot to save himself, but anyway. Well, I'm saying that without saying
Oh,
mate, I schooled you. Did I school you? I schooled you on that cruise ship, didn't I?
Yeah, we were
Remember?
playing horse.
And I made you horse.
You made me horse while I was still back at 8. I was sitting there going,
Yeah.
I
used to play the game for many a year back in the day.
Yes, many a year.
So we'll see. He'll absolutely floor me, but anyway. It's all good fun, isn't it?
So,
Well, that's massive, man. Seriously,
that's massive,
the biggest thing out of that for me is this crossplay thing. Like we must have mentioned that in one of the really early podcast that we did about crossplay. So you call us visionaries, sure, I'll go with that. This ridiculousness of not being able to game on a crossplay is done now.
It's old, isn't it?
It's old.
It's
And
it's pre-war.
I want to be able to play you in whatever game we choose, and it looks like we're a year or so away from doing that, which is great.
Jesus Christ.
And you're quite right too. It comes back down to, I think I'll probably will never buy a PlayStation in my life, and I think they've all realised that. Is that they've
Really?
got,
They're all sitting there around their board table going,
No,
guys,
no,
we're not going to get Dan. Let's move on.
no, but they're going to get new. They're going to try and get the new business. But once someone's committed to a console, I would reckon the rates of abandoning that console are pretty low once you're in.
Yeah, I think once you're in, absolutely once
Mind
you're
you,
in.
I bought a PlayStation first and got rid of it within a day. I didn't like it. It's just me.
You bought a PlayStation and got rid of it in a day.
In a day, we took it back within. A
Why?
day. Didn't like it. Didn't feel
Which
right.
PlayStation?
The original.
The one, the first one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but you know what? Back in the day, if you had, because I mean, realistically, back in the day, you bought one console and that was it, didn't you?
We did.
You're either Nintendo or you were this. Oh, what's this new fandangled thing?
That's how.
Sony only makes televisions. What's this shit?
What are they doing?
What are they doing? So yeah, that's absolutely fair enough. Now, that's going to cover us for top three. I know it was one thing, but there's a lot there. But that was our PS5 minutes.
It was, yes.
And we got about 10 minutes left in the pod.
All right.
So should we get on? We get cracking. Oh, shit! Oh, balls!
What?
I haven't revealed
Oh,
this.
God.
I haven't
You
bloody
haven't either.
I haven't revealed this yet.
Shit!
Oh, balls!
Can we rewind?
Balls shit. So this is now. Last week we gave away the G933s from Logitech. This week
It's a G9.
G935s. Now we mentioned that last week we were doing the announce here on Twitch, but we were pulling from our Twitter followers, right? So that was theirs. But we said we were going to come back this week and we were going to dig out something a little bit more special, a little bit more luxurious, and we were going to pluck from our Twitch community.
We were.
And in actual fact, the people that are in the chat. Because you people have been wonderful to us, and we're sorry that we can't have one of these for absolutely every one of you. Yeah. But you've been wonderful to us, and so I've actually been holding on to these for a special occasion.
Just like right now.
I kid you not. So, like before we even started talking to Logitech about helping us with our relaunch, they sent us out a heap of gear like a while back. Two of these units and an Astro A40. Right, so I always looked at these units and I was like, I'm going to hold on to these for something special. So
hence the moment.
Very, very cool. So yeah, guys, hang around to the end of the podcast, the end of the show tonight.
Someone in Twitch.
Someone in Twitch is going to pluck this. Now, Skittles, are you still there on the stream?
She's always
there because we love you.
Love you.
We love you. Ah!
I really love you.
Hello, Hishro.
Hello.
Hello, Hishro.
Now's be a good time to say hello, actually, if you're on Twitch, just to get your name out there.
Yeah, get your name.
Hello, Pete.
Hello, Dan.
I would love a pair of
I'm
those
here,
headphones.
but that is too much pressure because she knows what I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask her to pick somebody. Not yet.
She's a smart woman, that Skittles.
Very smart.
Smart woman.
Oh, look at Ari on stream. Skittles is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, All right, buddy.
Oh, it might work, though.
Get
Just
well
might
in
work.
there already,
Just
G.
might work.
Oh,
Just might work.
you dirty, dirty boy.
Skittles is awesome.
Ain't far out.
WA Savage, we're not fencing, but we're cheap.
Yeah.
I've known that in years.
Isn't that a ripper?
A ripper.
So we're going to hold on to this until the end
Till the end of the podcast.
of the podcast.
Is that 8 minutes away?
Hello, Blackhearts88. Hello, PCow90.
Hello.
Who's here?
Subscribing helps your odds, doesn't it?
It does help your odds. It does.
I'm joking.
I mean, Scony PP, Salty Cucumber 93.
Yeah.
Who else is in there? Beastia AU. I mean, Christ almighty, you guys jumped up a fair tick tonight, didn't you?
Yes.
No, look, excuse me. No, look, for our subscribers, we will have something extra special.
Ooh, okay. Well, so there you go.
We're,
So,
we're going to take it up another level once we actually get to our subscribers.
Yes.
For something
our
quite
target.
fun. Obviously, because you guys reach into your pocket to help what we're doing here at Game on Australia.
Yep.
So we very much appreciate it. We appreciate everybody joining, and everybody is worth being in here. And we thank you so much for being a part of this community and for taking the time to even hit us with a follow and stuff like that. But to go a step further and actually dig into your pocket and say, here, this is how much we love you guys and are supporting what you're doing means something very special.
Absolutely.
So this is a wonderful, wonderful prize. But obviously, the value of everything else means that we can pull out something a little bit more special later on down the track.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Is it big? Is it that time?
It's a big question. It's a good question. I don't know if it's still going. Hang on a second. No, that's not it.
That's not it.
No.
That's not it either.
Will this do, though? Big question. Big question.
It's a big question. It's a big question. Big.
I quite like that.
That's very
I
good.
quite like that.
Actually, that's the new one, Peter.
I think that's the new one.
What a ripper. You're on fire tonight, son. You're on fire tonight, son.
Bang.
PS 5 minutes into that. I mean, Peter,
I know.
just put your feet up and relax, son.
I think I will.
You've done enough.
I've done enough.
Last week we asked, Peter,
Yes.
a big one from you. What is the best multiplayer game of all time? Now, I'm not going to bother reading out all the comments. We had a lot. I'll give you the top 3 of comments that we got, Peter.
Okay.
1.
Give me the top 3. I am listening.
Not in any order, just this is what popped up the most. Said the actress to the bishop. Hey, if you know what I mean.
Hi-oh!
Number 1, Mr. Mario Kart. What an absolute ball terror of a game. Number 2, again, not in any order, Mr. Goldeneye, the one that I suggested, Peter, because what an absolute bloody ripper of a multiplayer game. I mean, honestly. Number 3, Peter, in no particular order. Halo.
Oh, Halo. I thought you said hello.
Yeah, hello. So there you go. They were the top 3 most common, with apologies to things like Unreal Tournament, Rainbow Six Siege, Quake 3, but by far and away, GoldenEye, Mario Kart, and Halo were the best, judged by our Game on Australia community as the best multiplayer games of all time. Now, Peter, you said last week that Mario Party was in your wheelhouse for probably the best multiplayer game of all time. I bought that game on the strength of your suggestion.
Oh, and?
I quite agree, Peter. It is an excellent multiplayer game. Interesting to see that Nintendo own 2 of those top 3.
Yes, they do, don't they? Now, Nintendo have always been very... But, okay, so the reason why it was my top multiplayer game was because it has withstood the test of time amongst everything else. So it's been great in terms of, yes, wonderful to play, all that sort of stuff, but I can still rock the Nintendo 64 Mario Party, the first one, and it's just as good as day one.
Well, and it's funny because I played it last night and it's been 20 years. It would be 20 years since I played the last one on the Nintendo 64. And now you got stuff like you actually collect different dice that you choose a dice before each turn because some dice have big numbers, some dice have small numbers. And I thought that was genius.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just little things like that. They're very clever people at Nintendo.
Without a doubt.
We've said that a few times.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Nintendo, Pete and I would love to come and tour your facility at one stage. Obviously, expenses paid by you. We're just, the number 1 podcast in Australia for gaming.
And, time paid and everything.
Yeah.
Maybe just put us on the books.
Sorry, I sound like a smoker because I'm laughing.
You do sound like a smoker, actually.
I don't know what the hell's going on. Yeah. But that's a very funny. Yeah, we're open to that suggestion, Nintendo. If you're listening and watching, clearly you are.
I'm going to see you one day on the front of a. You're going to be a warning sign.
Oh no, I don't smoke though. What are you talking about?
On the front of a video game package.
Oh yeah. That's right. Don't be like this.
See why this man is so happy?
Yeah.
He plays video games.
Exactly. Actually, a reverse warning sign.
Reverse warning sign.
An encouragement sign.
What did Inferno say? Wii Tennis, the wrist breaker.
Oh God, that yes. Yes, that was a good. All those Wii things were good multiplayer games, actually.
So look, thank you all so much.
Have you got one for next week? We haven't. We're not prepared.
Can we ask the community?
That's an excellent idea.
Let's
What's
ask
a
the
big
community.
question on Twitch right now? What's a big question we should ask?
So what would you guys like to know from our community? Is there a big question? And we'll give you some thinking music. So if you could ask an entire community of wonderful, wonderful gamers, your peers, a big question and hear their responses, what
It's
would your
a big question?
big question be? Da 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 da.
It's a big question.
Oh.
Question. Oh. Is it a good
This
one?
is good. This is a good one.
It can't be too good because then we'll lose our jobs.
I'll have to start paying people
Yeah.
like we're soliciting companies. There's a few here.
Okay.
Captain Avari straight off.
Bank them.
Yes. Captain Avari straight off the bat has asked, "What have you always wanted to do in a game but couldn't?"
Oh, that's an excellent question.
Well, it depends
Oh
what
my
we're
God.
talking about. So if we're talking about Call of Duty multiplayer, for example, win would be a good start. Shit.
Fortnite for me, just been a solo game.
Yep. How about build?
I'd love to build, actually. Building in Fortnite would be good for me.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Gamma asked, my question is, what do you look for in a video game?
Well, that's an excellent
That's very
question too.
deep.
That's
It's
a very
very-
deep one, yeah.
It's very open-ended and deep.
Yep.
Adsky says, does gaming cop a bad rap for being toxic? It's an interesting
Oh,
question.
God, that's a good one too. Holy
Night
shit.
Night Shepherd is, what's the quickest you've given up on a game?
Oh, my God.
Mm.
These are excellent.
Yeah, they're
Bank all
good.
these.
They're very good.
What are we going to go with?
Um,
I felt like last week's was deep, so I don't want to go too deep this time.
well,
round.
I actually quite like what have you always wanted to do in a game but you couldn't?
You couldn't.
What have you wanted to do in a game but you couldn't? I think it's cool.
I've always wanted to. I think there's been a lack of opportunity in gaming, particularly in sports games, to have like a confidence meter. I think when I play a lot of sports, a lot about confidence. So I would have loved to have had a sporting game where your confidence in the game was replicated inside the game. So if you hit, let's say you play a baseball game and you start a new game and your first two hits are home runs, then there should be a little confidence meter that makes it a bit easier for you to hit forthcoming home runs.
Yep.
Until you start to fail a bit, right?
Yep.
And I'd love to have that in the game.
I think it's a bloody great idea. I
What about
really
you?
do. I mean, it's a genuine great idea.
What would you like to do in a game that you haven't been able to do yet?
Confidence meter. I like that. I like to be able to do in a game that I think I need to think about this one
It's a very
because off the top of my
it's
head,
not deep, but it's a tricky. It's not tricky. There's lots of layers to it. There's
you
lots
know
of layers.
why? Because I think for everything I've always wanted to do in a game, I've found a game to do it. If that makes sense.
Yep.
However, obviously because of that, my eyes have been closed to anything beyond those sort of realms.
Yeah.
So it's the sort of thing where you'd be like, okay, how far can we actually, how far can we push the envelope? Oh my God, who's Uni of Trials?
What?
University of Trials. When we introduced that heart rate monitor, I wanted to see that used to measure stuff like emotions, fear, similar to confidence.
Yeah. All right.
Hang on a sec, let me just find something. I need to see something here.
Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I know when I play cricket as my one sport I still play, indoor cricket, if I go out pretty confident, I hit the ball a bit easier and a bit freer. And I'd love to see that replicated in games, particularly sports games. So, for example, if you're back in the day, there used to be basketball games, particularly where your shooter was just rated better. So you generally try and get the ball to him or her in a 3-point situation to nail a shot.
Yeah.
Because 2 out of 3 times they would. And I think that's sort of lost a bit now. I'd like to see a bit more of that back.
This Uni of Trials, right? So this is University of Trials on Twitter, okay? Official trials educator for Trials Rising. How good is that?
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Helping people get better than me since 2011. DMs open. University of
Fantastic.
Trials@gmail.com. Mate, thank you for coming across and
Yeah,
finding us. How
bloody
bloody
oath.
good is that to have? And that's wicked what you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
The historian knows him. Guess what the historian calls him?
What's that?
The professor.
Wow.
Wow.
Are we adding to our cards of experts?
I think so.
Professor.
We bowed down. We
The
bowed down
historian.
to thee.
Yeah.
We bowed down to.
We bow down to thee,
We bow down
Professor.
to ye.
Professor Sir.
Interesting. Skittles, have you picked a winner yet, or what? I'm doing it. So that's it.
That's
the
it.
question.
That'll be up on all our socials. All our socials.
All our socials.
Including Instagram.
God, we have so many
On Friday.
now. My God.
Or if you're listening on the podcast right now.
Now.
Oh, there it is. I am absolutely busting for a wee, so if you want to make this quick, that'll be good.
Who are we going to pick? Oh, Skittles has picked somebody. So Grant is cool 88. Bunga. Blackhearts 88. Arion streams. Grant is cool 88. The way you win this is just by being in our community, good sir. Like that, we are picking tonight from the lovely Twitch people in our community. So
Next week it could be Instagram.
Could be Instagram. Next week it could be. No, we won't do Twitter again. We'll probably do Instagram. Could be from our Discord.
Could be from our racing pigeon community.
I love our racing pigeon community. Hello, Phil. If you're listening,
Everyone's seen your racing pigeons out now, and the first one to arrive here by next week gets.
Oh God, I love doing this. Okay, I'm gonna do it again.
Oh God.
So, Skittles. Now I am watching like a delay on the stream, so it'll be like a few seconds. But Skittles, when you are ready, reveal the winner of the Logitech G935 headset.
And please hurry, because I am legit busting for a wee.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right, we're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting. Hype. So much hype. It's not Shepard. Yes! Not Shepard! You little beauty!
What are Night Shepherd?
My God. Night Shepherd's going to explode. He's passed out. He's passed out. Look at this. Look at this wonderful congratulations.
Yeah, see,
from all the
that's
people
why
in the
gamers
community.
matter, mate, because they're bloody. Oh, God, I love
Aren't they
them.
just wonderful?
They are wonderful.
They really are.
Wonderful.
It's a beautiful thing to see.
A
Like we said, guys,
beautiful thing.
we're sorry that we can't have one of these for everybody because it would be great. It
But
really
you never
would.
know. Next week could be your turn.
It could be your turn.
So thank
Night
you.
Shepherd. Wait, what did I miss? Are you joking? Take it off him. Redraw. He wasn't here. He was off making a cup of tea or something.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
All right.
Life
fine.
happens.
Life happens. He's just said, "Holy sham wow."
Holy sham wow.
Holy sham wow.
Congrats, mate. Wow. Sham wow.
Wow.
Sham wow.
Holy sham wow. Ah, that's so good. Guys, we're going to get out of here.
Yep.
Oh, let's do our little thing. Hey. Goodbye, goodbye,
Goodbye,
goodbye, goodbye, motherfuckers. No, I'm just kidding. So, a big thank you to you guys watching. A few people to thank tonight. My God, how has it been wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you to Logitech
Yes.
for the headset. And all of the others. We've got a shitload of these headsets to give away, by the way, so make sure you keep on watching. Could be you next. Thank you to Chris Derrick.
Yeah, and Nathan Briffer.
Legends. For joining us on the podcast tonight. Thank you very much to Champ Chong.
The big Champ Chong.
Who had no idea he was joining us on
what
the
a
podcast
legend.
tonight. He just ran with it. My God, you're amazing.
Yes.
Good to see you all in the chat. And great to have your ears across us as well if you're listening on the podcast. Any of our platforms or at andrewhogue.com as well. It is PAX week, so if you're watching right now and you're heading to PAX or you are at PAX, you're ready to go,
Bloody enjoy it.
Have fun.
Have fun.
Have a bloody
Think
ripper
about
time.
us.
Think about us.
Sitting over here in non-PAX land.
Yeah. Next year, though.
Next year.
Oh,
Jesus
boy.
Christ, next
Oh,
year.
boy. Oh, boy. So, yes, have a bloody great time. Look after each other, please.
Yes.
And we will catch you next week on the show.
Yep.
More guests next week on the show, by the
Oh,
way.
fantastic.
Yep, so we're going to have some
Love guests.
local Australian independent developers.
Oh,
Going to be joining us.
yeah.
So that'll be good.
Awesome.
Let's get the hell out of here. Night Shepherd, Skittles will sort you out, mate, in terms of an address, and then we will get this sent out to
Yep.
you. Have a great weekend in gaming. And as we always say, Dan,
Don't forget to bloody save it. I've got to go and have a piss.
Go.
Bye.
Bye. Enjoy your pee-pee.
See you, bro.
Bye, bro.
Bye, bro.
Now, guys, who's taking over the stream tonight? Menthonzo, is it you or is it Nico? Excuse me. I'm waiting to find out who it is. Menthonzo is. All right, Menthonzo. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to drop this off and get on with it, you bloody legend. Good night, everybody. Yeah, I know he's having a rough time. I'm going to fly all the way to the Eastern States and give that motherfucker a hug, I reckon. Thanks, guys. Always great to catch you guys. And jump on, Menth, and we'll catch you later. Bye.